Concentration in Salah is challenging, especially for overthinkers like me. We carry the weight of daily life into our prayer, and our minds wander. Often, we blame this on weak faith, but let me assure you this is natural, and most people experience it to some extent. In this video, I want to share how a unique connection with Surah Al-Fatiha can make your Salah not just better but transformative. Al-Fatiha, or the opening, is exactly that. It opens the Quran, your Salah, and your path to closeness with Allah. While many of us know the literal meaning of this surah, I believe everyone can connect with it in their own unique way. It's a door, and how you open it is up to you. Let me share how I connect with it. Let's start with the first verse. In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, most merciful. When I recite this verse, I remind myself that Allah is forgiving and kind, even when my thoughts are scattered. His mercy accepts my Salah, no matter my struggles. This reminder eases the pressure I put on myself, calming my mind. As a result, my racing thoughts slow down, and I feel more present. All praise is for Allah, Lord of all worlds, the most compassionate, most merciful. This verse gives me hope and power. It reminds me that Allah is the Lord of all worlds. He is in control of everything, including my worries. Why should I stress about pending tasks or life's challenges when I'm standing before the King of all? This realization pushes worldly concerns aside, and my focus shifts solely to Him. Master of the Day of Judgment, you alone we worship and you alone we ask for help. Here, I shift my focus from my problems to my shortcomings. I acknowledge my sins, big or small, known or unknown, whether it's harboring resentment, thinking negatively about someone, or forgetting Allah's blessings. I admit my flaws. I humbly ask for His forgiveness, as if I'm standing before Him on the Day of Judgment. This verse grounds me in my purpose, to worship Allah, not my ego or my thoughts. Guide us along the straight path, the path of those you have blessed, not those you are displeased with or those who are astray. This verse holds a special place for me. Reciting it, I contemplate asking Allah to guide my thoughts onto the straight path. Most of our problems arise when our thoughts go astray. If I get angry, it's often because my thoughts about a situation or person are not righteous. So, I ask Allah to help me think calmly and rightly. Let's have another example. If I've backbitten someone, I reflect on why I had negative thoughts about them in the first place. I ask Allah to purify my thoughts and guide me to think as a righteous person would in the same situation, not as someone who has strayed far from His guidance. It also humbles me and reminds me never to assume that I have achieved guidance. It's not a one-time milestone. It's a continuous journey. So, this is a brief introduction to how you can navigate Surah Al-Fatiha. This approach applies not just to Surah Al-Fatiha but to every word you utter in Salah. The key is to connect deeply with each word and relate it to your life, standing before Allah with vulnerability, humility, and gratitude. Let's wrap this up. When I say,
Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim,
I focus on His endless mercy and compassion, not just in my life but also for the scattered thoughts that invade my mind. With
Rabbul Alameen,
I calm my heart, reminding myself that He is the owner of everything. I surrender all my worries to Him. When I recite,
Malik Yawm ad-Din,
I reflect on the Day of Judgment. It brings my actions into perspective and reminds me to be sincere and accountable. By saying,
إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين,
I acknowledge my dependence on Allah. I ask for His help in staying focused during Salah, overcoming my sins, and striving to be better. Finally,
Siratul Mustaqim,
I make my heartfelt plea for guidance. I ask Allah to purify my thoughts and actions, helping me to walk the path that pleases Him.